Hi, today we are going to learn how to create 2FA login to your site with SMS. CM Secure Login rebuilds the account security for your WordPress users by offering integration with 4 widely accredited two-factor authentication methods: Google Authenticator, mobile phone SMS, email verification, and email code. By not relying on the password alone, users feel confident that their credentials and data are stored safely. In this example use case video, we will consider how to create 2FA login to your site with SMS verification code. In order to access the account, the user has to input a code which is sent by SMS to his or her mobile. This message is generated by the reliable Amazon SMS service, AWS SNS, which boasts compatibility with most countries. Enabling SMS protection on your site is quite simple. To configure all base options, you need to navigate to CM Secure Login Pro, Settings, General tab. There you can find a few sections with the options. Let's consider the ones that are important for configuring SMS protection. Protection method. This option is the core of the plugin. Here you need to choose which protection method you want to use. You can choose from 4 protection methods: Google Authenticator, email verification code, email confirmation link, SMS verification code. You can also let users choose between SMS code and email code. In this use case, we choose SMS method. Require chosen protection method for all users. Enable this option if you want to apply the previously selected solution for all users. Require chosen protection method for chosen roles. If previous option is disabled, you can apply chosen protection method only for definite user roles that you can choose in the list. You can disable the password for every user or only for those with certain roles. Note that disabling the password does not mean the users will only need their username to sign in. Instead, they will log in with their usernames and the chosen authentication method. You can also configure additional security options. Expiration time for the email or SMS code or link. Define the time in minutes when the sent one-time code expires. Log out after activity or inactivity time. Users will be logged out after the period of activity or inactivity. Set to 0 to disable. Log out mode. Here you can choose in which cases to log out the users, after some period of inactivity or in both cases, activity and inactivity. Works if previous option is enabled. Characters set to generate the code from. Set the characters that will be used to create the random code. To make it simpler for users to enter, we can use just numerical symbols for an SMS code. Code length. Set the authentication code length. To make it simpler for users to enter, we can make an SMS code not so long, for example, just 6 symbols. Next important tab we consider is SMS. In this tab are located some options that are crucial for working of SMS protection method. Limit sending 1 SMS per every X minutes. Lets you limit the frequency of text messages so as not to disturb users. The field accepts value in minutes, so by inserting 2, for example, users will receive maximum 1 message every 2 minutes. Amazon Web Service API. Here you must insert the Amazon SNS API key and secret and choose the region. You can check the guide provided by the Amazon service to get to know how to obtain this. After configuring Amazon APIs, you can test the service by adding a test number, starting with the country code. For example, +1 for United States number. Message. These fields allow you to customize the SMS the users will receive. Customize the message. You can use the shortcodes that you can see on the screen to add dynamic content. Email template. You can edit the template for the message the user will receive when he or she tries to log in without having registered a telephone number. There are 2 fields, subject and the message body. You can use the shortcodes that you can see on the screen to add dynamic content to subject and body of these emails. Base configuration is done, so don't forget to click the button Save at the bottom of the page, and let's check how it works on the front end. When the user tries to log in for the first time after 2FA is enabled, his phone is not registered yet, so he needs to enter his username or email and then click Send verification code. He will be notified that his phone is not specified and the link for doing this was sent to his email. In the email, the user needs to click the link and then write his phone in the provided form. Then he can get back to the login form, enter his username or email and password, and then click Send verification code. The user needs to enter the code from received SMS to the verification code field and click Login. Secure Login allows you to apply the chosen secure method not only to all users or specific roles, but also allows you to change settings specifically to each user. To do this, navigate to Users, All Users. Hover on needed user and click Edit. Here is an example of the panel for the user that belongs to the user role with enabled 2FA protection. It works the same for the user roles with disabled 2FA protection. The options are: disable or enable protection. Either turn the 2FA on or off for this user. Clear admin decision. Resets any individual changes in favor of global settings. User's phone number. Here you can also view and manage the phone number the user provided in his profile. On the Appearance tab, you can add and change instructions and modify the appearance of the login form with CSS. Enable login instructions. Enables this option. Login instructions content. Enter the login instructions that will be displayed on the login form. Custom CSS. To further personalize your form, you can insert custom CSS. It will affect the hooks that you can see on the screen. When a user attempts to log in, he or she receives a code or link. Secure Login allows you to send an email to another user informing about the login attempt. This can be useful to monitor which users are trying to log in and how. To configure it, navigate to the Notifications tab. Send out code to additional email. Enable it to send the code or link to additional email addresses. Email address to send the notification. Write here comma-separated email addresses. This setting will only have effect if the previous option is set to yes. Enable for chosen roles. Define which user roles will trigger the additional email. Email template. Customize the subject and body template of the email. Both fields accept shortcodes that you can see on the screen. On the Labels tab, you can change the text of every label on the front end. This feature is especially useful for localizing the form to different languages. SMS Code labels. Following instructions found in the plugin and guides, you should be able to create 2FA login to your site with SMS Code verification. Thanks for watching the video.